I found out what the silence pays when I stop feeling it. The revenue acquired, I've been spilling it into conversation, into movement, into noise, into all the ways of making sound instead of making choice. To just sit in it, to let the silence be productive in a way that silence is extractive and instructive, pulling up the things that noise keeps underwater. The silence has a revenue, I should've known it sooner. The silence gives you back what the noise took away. The revenue acquired, I could spend it every day. The things that rise when nothing's competing for the space. The silence pays in clarity, I'm rich in it today. I started with 10 minutes, just sat with the morning. No phone, no music, just the window and the warning. Signs of day beginning, the bird, the truck, the light. The 10 became 20, 20 became the thing I fight to protect the 20 minutes that the silence gives me back. More than anything I've gained from keeping on the track of constant input. The silence is a different currency, one that pays in things you can't buy at any urgency. The silence gives you back what the noise took away. The revenue acquired, I can spend it every day. The things that rise when nothing's competing for the space. The silence pays in clarity, I'm rich in it today. Invest in the silence, it pays compound interest. The longer you sit in it, the more it reveals. The silence isn't absence, it's the most present thing I've entered. The revenue is real, and the revenue heals. The silence gave me back what I forgot I had. The revenue acquired something I never valued. The things that rise when nothing's drowning them out. The silence paid, and now I have no doubt. I've been holding it for longer than I meant to. The tension in the shoulders that I carry past the end of the day, past dinner, past the shower, past the lying down, past the point where any normal body would have found the release. But mine keeps holding, keeps the contract with the stress long after stress has lost its impact. I wake up already clenched, already in the posture of someone bracing for a hit, same old imposture. Slow exhale, let it go all the way out. Slow exhale, past the worry and the doubt. The held breath is the cost of staying ready. Slow exhale and let myself be steady. Just here, just breathing, just tonight. Slow exhale and I'm alright. My chiropractor said the back holds the emotional. The things we never process go structural. In the body, they become the posture of the unresolved. The muscle memory of every problem not dissolved, and feeling calcified in tension instead of grief. The body keeping score, demanding some relief. I've been ignoring the invoice for years. The body's patient, but eventually the tension finds its own excavation. Slow exhale, let it go all the way out. Slow exhale, past the worry and the doubt. The held breath is the cost of staying ready. Slow exhale and let myself be steady. Just here, just breathing, just tonight. Slow exhale and I'm alright. You don't have to be ready for everything at once. You don't have to brace before the morning's begun. The slow exhale is not surrender, it's arrival. It's the breath that makes the next breath possible. Slow exhale and the shoulder drops an inch. Slow exhale and the clenching starts to rinse out of the body that's been holding on too long. Slow exhale and that's the whole song. flowing all the way out now. I finally figured out how to let the hell breath go without apology. Slow exhale, that's the whole theology.
I've been redistributing weight, taking stock of the load. The structural assessment of everything I've owed to myself, to the people who expected me to hold the shape they needed. I've been carrying it cold, the weight that accumulated in the years of holding still. The years I said I'm managing when managing was nil. The difference between carrying and collapsing is the same as knowing what you're carrying and having it a name. You learn the weight distribution or the structure fails. You learn which walls are low-bearing before the whole thing bails. I've been learning what to carry and what to set aside. Weight distribution, finally getting it right. Yeah, my therapist said draw the weight. I drew a map of everything I'm holding and where the holding's at. Left shoulder, family expectations, 7 years deep. Right shoulder, the version of success I'm supposed to keep. Center, something nameless from before I knew the word for it. The weight that has no shape but always gets heard in the body, and the tension that lives between the shoulder blades. In the mornings when I wake up and the senses of the weight invades. You learn the weight distribution or the structure fails. You learn which walls are load-bearing before the whole thing bails. I've been learning what to carry and what to set aside. Weight distribution, finally getting it right. Yeah, not all weight is mine to carry, that's the hardest lesson. Some of what I'm holding belongs to someone else's session with themselves. I picked it up because the floor was empty and nobody else was going to. Now I have plenty of my own, so I'm redistributing, setting down to borrow. Starting with the things I took that weren't mine to carry forward. Weight distribution, I know the load now. Weight distribution, I know what I owe and how to carry what is mine and let the rest go free. Weight distribution, and the structure's holding me.
I keep certain mornings in the back of my mind, the ones that had no reason to be good and were kind anyway. The specific quality of light through a window in an apartment I no longer live in. How the pillow smelled like the season, how the coffee was exactly right. How someone was still sleeping in the morning and the night. We're trading places slowly, how I had nowhere to be. That particular morning, how I had exactly me. Kept warm all these years, kept warm. The mornings I forget to remember still keep me warm. I reach back for them when the winter gets long, and they're always there. Kept warm, kept warm, kept warm. The ordinary mornings that I didn't know were gold, kept warm inside me, they never go cold. Yeah, I've been an accumulator of warm mornings all my life, without knowing that I was, without thinking about the archive I've been building of the good specific ordinary. The breakfast at the particular place, the February light that was somehow more than February light deserved. The warmth I felt that I now understand I preserved without intention. I was just living, but the living was collecting warmth and keeping it and giving. Kept warm all these years, kept warm. The mornings I forget to remember still keep me warm. I reach back for them when the winter gets long, and they're always there. Kept warm, kept warm, ordinary mornings that I didn't know were gold. Kept warm inside me, they never go cold. I'm adding to the archive now intentionally. Every warm morning is a deposit consciously made. The coffee and the light in the unhurried window, the ordinary warmth of the ordinary day. Kept warm, I'm keeping it all. Kept warm by everything that happened before. Kept warm, I didn't know what memory was for until I needed it at 4 a.m. and reached back. Kept warm, the archive never runs out of that. I've been wondering where the weight goes when you finally let it down. Does it stay in the room or does it leave without a sound? Does the floor absorb it? Does the air take it somewhere? Does the weight of what I've carried join the rest of what's out there? In the atmosphere, the accumulated weight of human feeling dispersed into the cloud of everything that needs its healing. I imagine it like weather rising, shifting, moving through. The weight we put down has to go somewhere. I wonder where it flew, where the weight goes when I'm done holding, where the grief goes when it's done unfolding. I put it down so carefully, I watched it leave my hands. Where the weight goes, I hope it understands that I needed it. I'm grateful for what it taught, that I held it for as long as it needed to be held. Where the weight goes, somewhere it can rest to. Where the weight goes, I send it with love. I do. A physicist would say the energy's conserved, that nothing disappears, it just gets transferred and observed in another form. The weight of what I carry forward became the understanding. It was never wasted, never bordered on being meaningless. The weight was just a lesson in the form that lessons take when living needs correction or deepening. The weight was never punishment, it was the load that taught me what I'm made of and what isn't. Where the weight goes when I'm done holding, where the grief goes when it's done unfolding. I put it down so carefully, I watched it leave my hands. Where the weight goes, I hope it understands that I needed it. I'm grateful for what it taught, that I held it for as long as it needed to be held. Where the weight goes, somewhere it can rest to. Where the weight goes, I send it with love. I do. Maybe the weight becomes the ground that someone else walks on. Maybe what I put down lifts someone else along. Maybe the release isn't the end, it's the beginning of the way becoming something worth the living. Set it down, it has somewhere to go. Set it down and let the weight flow. Where the weight goes, I let it go tonight. Where it lands, I trust it finds the right place to rest. I carried it as long as I needed to. Where the weight goes, I hope it carries something true.
I've been up since yesterday with nothing to show.
The walls been listening, but nobody's home. Every thought I had words saying went unsaid. Now it's 4 a.m. and I'm talking to the bed. I mapped the ceiling twice and counted every crack. Rehearsed whole conversations I can't take back. The version of me that sleeps, I haven't met him lately. He checks out early, leaves me here to handle everything daily. Still awake when the whole block's gone quiet. Still here when there's nobody left to fight it. The only sound is the bass in my chest. The only company is what I have in the dress. I made the coffee knowing I won't drink it through. I make it just to have something to do. The ritual of hands that aren't just waiting. Something warm to hold while the room keeps pacing. 3 weeks of early mornings stacked like debt. Each one a little quieter, a little harder to forget. The body carries forward what the mind wants to drop. The new day starts before the old one stops. Still awake when the whole block's gone quiet. Still here when there's nobody left to fight it. The only sound is the bass in my chest. The only company is what I have in the dress. Maybe the silence is just asking me to listen, not to fix it, just to let it be here. The weight of the night isn't the enemy of morning. It's just the dark doing what the dark does best, being clear. Still awake, but the choir's getting softer now. Still here, I don't know when, but I know how. The bass in my chest is slowing to something steadier. The dark getting thinner and I'm getting readier. I was looking for a signal in a season with no signal. In the middle of the quietest and most confusing interval of my adult life. The year the four emotions stopped, and everything I've been building toward just dropped. Out of sight, not gone, just hidden, I can see that now. But in the middle of it, I forgot to remember how people find their way through the seasons without light. I was looking for a signal staring in the night. There's a signal fire burning at the edge of what I know. There's a signal fire, small but real, and it's starting to grow. I didn't light it, it was burning when I found it. The signal fire, I'm wrapping myself around it. The signal was a person who said one true thing. The signal was a morning that surprised me with its offering of orange light with gray up in the standing reservation. The signal was the moment I stopped performing desolation and let the low season be exactly what it was, without improving it for someone else's comfort. Just because it's the kind of authentic that lets the signal in the honest acknowledgement. The dark is how the light begins. There's a signal fire burning at the edge of what I know. There's a signal fire, small but real, and it's starting to grow. I didn't light it, it was burning when I found it. The signal fire, I'm wrapping myself around it. You don't have to be the one who starts it, you just have to be the one who sees it. The signal fire doesn't ask for anything, it just asks you to believe it. Move toward the warmth, that's the whole instruction. Move toward the small real light in the construction of the next thing. Signal fire, signal fire. Move toward it, let it take you higher. Let it take you higher. Signal fire, I found it in the dark. Signal fire, smallest kind of spark, but real and warm and mine to move toward now. Signal fire, I remember how. Every morning I'm in debt to the night that carried me, to the dark that held the sleeping and returned me carefully to the waking, to the window and the specific light of this particular morning coming after that particular night. The debt is real even when the night was hard to sleep through, even when the 3 a.m. was something I had to see through. The morning is the creditor and I am what it's owed, another chance to carry what I carry down the road. I owe the morning something for arriving. I owe the day for the fact of still surviving. Into it the light I didn't earn but got. I owe the morning everything I've got, and I'll pay it in attention, in the staying present, in the 20 minutes before the day gets unpleasant. I'll pay the morning debt the only way I know. Show up, eyes open, and let the morning go. I stopped taking the mornings for the granted they became, when I was moving fast enough that every day felt the same. I couldn't tell the Tuesday from the Thursday from the gray of undifferentiated surviving of the day. Then something slowed me down, not gently, and I met the morning like a stranger I've been carelessly in debt to for years. And the morning was still there and still arriving, still patient, still exact, and I was finally listening. I owe the morning something for arriving. I owe the day for the fact of still surviving. Into it the light I didn't earn but got. I owe the morning everything I've got, and I'll pay it in attention, in the staying present, in the 20 minutes before the day gets unpleasant. I'll pay the morning debt the only way I know. Show up, eyes open, and let the morning go. The payment isn't perfect and the debt recurs. Every morning that I wake to is another creditor, but I don't resent the debt. I'm grateful for the bill in the morning, asking for my presence. I'm willing to pay in full in 20 minutes, in the window, in the coffee and the light. And everything I know is temporary and worth every second of the owing. I owe the morning, and today I paid it. I owe the day, and today I faced it. The light I didn't earn but kept receiving. Morning debt, the best kind of believing. I walk the same 4 blocks when I can't make sense of things. The asphalt knows my weight by now, knows what 3 a.m. brings. The liquor store is closed, the laundromat's still lit. One man folding something white, I think that's all of it. The version of contentment I can find at this hour is just the absence of the things that took my power during daylight. Now the city's half asleep, and I can breathe inside the quiet that the dark keeps. I say the things I mean out here when no one's listening but the atmosphere. The words go up and don't come back down. That's the only prayer I know in this town. My father used to say the night belongs to honest men. I thought he meant it poetically, I get it now and then. I get it on a cellular level in my stride. The night removes the costume and there's nothing left to hide. I passed the spot where we used to eat at 2 a.m. The awning's different now, but I still feel it then. The ghost of a meal we shared when things were lighter before. The weight accumulated and the low got tighter. I say the things I mean out here when no one's listening but the atmosphere. The words go up and don't come back down. That's the only prayer I know in this town. Not asking for an answer, just a space to ask the question. The night doesn't give verdicts, it just gives you room. The asphalt under my feet is the most honest ground I know. 4 blocks and back is sometimes all the church I need to move. brighter than when I left the door. The only prayer I know, I don't need anymore. There are sentences I've started 50 times and swallowed. The words I built a mouth around and then decided hollow. Wasn't the right frame, so I reframed and swallowed again. The almost said collection in my chest is full by 10 a.m. on any given day. I've carried unsent letters since I learned that saying things doesn't always make them better or worse, it makes them real, and real is consequences. The almost said live safer in the almost said defenses. All the things I almost said, living in the space instead of conversation, they take up room. The almost said fills every room. I'll say it when I'm ready, I'll say it when it's right. The almost said keeps finding me at 3 and 4 at night. I wrote the text and stared at it for 11 minutes on the dot. Deleted half, rewrote it, put the phone face down. I did not send it, and the moment passed and then the moment after. And now the thing I almost said lives in the chapter of things that went unsaid between us, growing longer. I wonder if the almost said made everything stronger. In its absence, wonder if the unsent text was wisdom, or the particular cowardice of my decision. All the things I almost said, living in the space instead of conversation, they take up room. The almost said fills every room. I'll say it when I'm ready, I'll say it when it's right. The almost said keeps finding me at 3 and 4 at night. What if I sent the thing I almost sent? What if the almost was the best I meant? What if saying it is worse than holding it? But what if holding it is all there is? I'll say the almost said before the moment's gone. I'll open up the draft and send the thing before too long. All the things I almost said, I'm saying one of them tonight. Living in the space no longer, I'm stepping into the light. I'll say it while I'm scared still, I'll say it while it's real. The almost said, I'm letting it out. That's the only way to heal. I wear the jacket that belonged to someone I've lost touch with. The warmth inside it isn't mine, it came from somewhere else. Secondhand warmth is still warmth. I stopped feeling guilty for being comforted by things that used to comfort someone else. His records in her handwriting in the mug with the chip. The inheritance of warmth from people in their trips through my life. The things they left without intending. All the things I reach for on the mornings without ending. Secondhand, it's still so warm. The love that's left behind after everything is said. After everyone moves on, the warmth that outlives the hand hand that gave it. Still here, still reaching me. Secondhand, still saving me. The playlist someone made me in a year, I barely survived. It's still in my library, still helping me arrive. It's something like okay on the mornings that need help. The songs they chose for me now live on my shelf of things that constitute the person I became. You cannot separate the one from what contains his name. I am the accumulated warmth of everyone who stayed long enough to leave me something I'm not afraid. Secondhand and still so warm. The love that's left behind after everything is said, after everyone moves on. The warmth that outlives the hand that gave it. Still here, still reaching me. Secondhand, still saving me. Yeah. Maybe I am secondhand warmth to someone too. Maybe something that I gave lives past the time I knew the person. Maybe warmth is how we stay in the world after we've moved on. It travels, it unfurls into someone's morning jacket, someone's 4 a.m. Secondhand warmth circling back, it never ends. Secondhand, and I receive it, all the love I didn't earn but needed. After everything, the warmth is still arriving. Secondhand, and that's how I'm surviving. Not afraid of depth. I've been walking careful, like the ground won't hold my weight. Like something underneath is shifting, something I can't calculate. I test each step before I take it, reading every surface twice. Been living like the whole of it is balanced on thin ice. I don't know when I started this particular the way of moving through my own life, tiptoeing through the ordinary. Like the ordinary has a threshold that my presence keeps on proving is exactly at the limit. I've been this kind of wary. I know the ice is thin, I know I've always known, but I keep walking anyway, because this is all I've known. The careful and the weight of it, the holding of my breath and ice in me. I know this dance, I'm not afraid of depth. My mother moved like that, I see it now in retrospect. The way she held the house together with the practiced architect's precision. Nothing wasted, nothing loud, nothing that could crack the surface of the daily that she kept intact. I learned to walk from watching her, the measured distribution of the self across the fragile, the precise contribution of weight to what will hold it, and the lightness where it won't. The ice walking inheritance I carry and I don't. I know the ice is thin, I know I've always known, but I keep walking anyway, because this is all I've known. Be careful and the weight of it, the holding of my breath and ice in me. I know this dance, I'm not afraid of depth. What if I stopped testing every surface? What if I just walked and let it hold? What if thin ice is strong enough to carry the weight of something whole? What if the care was habit, not necessity? What if I could just move? I know the ice is thin, but I'm walking fuller now. Less careful, less distributed, more weight, more somehow. The ice is holding, or I'm learning that it can't thin ice in me. A different kind of dance. I know where my fault lines are. I've mapped them over years, the places where I fracture under specific kinds of pressure. The criticism from a voice that sounds like my father's voice, the feeling that I'm falling short of someone else's measure. I know the fault line runs along my sense of being enough, that everything I build on top of it is slightly off, because the ground beneath it isn't level, never was. And I've been compensating for the tilt, because that's just what you does when the fault line is the thing you started from. I know the places I give away, I know the exact degree of pressure before they fray. Not broken, just geological, just the nature of the ground that I was given and the ground that I have found. The fault line isn't failure, that took years to understand. The fault line is just where two different things meet and expand against each other, where the pressure of the difference lives. It's not the flaw in the material, it's where the material gives evidence of its own complexity. I've learned to read mind, to feel the tremor before the quake, and draw the line between the pressure I can hold and what I need to set aside. The fault line is the most honest thing inside. I know the places I give away, I know the exact degree of pressure before they fray. Not broken, just geological, just the nature of the ground that I was given and the ground that I have found. Geologists don't hate the fault, they study it. They understand the landscape by the way the earth remembers it. I'm studying mine, the tilt, the give, the history of stress. Not to fix it, to know it, that's enough. No more, no less. I know the fault lines and I love the ground anyway. I know the give and I've learned what to do when they fray. Not broken, just the nature of the ground I'm on. Fault lines and all, I'm still standing, still strong.
Yeah. I owe myself some hours I've been giving away to the urgency of everyone else's day. Hours that belong to the version of me that needed rest and room and patience. Hours I conceded to the calendar, the inbox, the persistent asking of people who assumed that I was always up for task. And I said yes when my body was already in the negative. I said fine when fine was a lie I had to live with. Running a tab on the time I didn't take. Running the tab on the sleep and the space. In the mornings I could've sat still but didn't. The hours I owe myself, I'm paying them back now. Yeah. It started with the Sundays, I reclaimed the Sunday first. Said nothing to nobody, just refused to rehearse. The busy just sat with the coffee and the quiet and the light, and felt guilty for an hour, then it started feeling right. Then the mornings I took 20 minutes before the world woke up. The practice of arriving in myself before I'm giving up to the day. It sounds like nothing, but it changed the whole arithmetic. The debt to myself started shrinking, slow and systematic. Oh. Running the tab on the time I didn't take. Running the tab on the sleep and the space. In the mornings I could've sat still but didn't. The hours I owe myself, I'm paying them back now. Nobody's gonna give the hours back to you. Nobody's watching what you sacrifice, they just receive it. The only account that matters is the one you keep with yourself, and mine was overdrawn. I finally believed it, so I started making deposits, small ones daily. The Sunday, the morning, the walk taken slowly, the meal I didn't eat standing over the sink, the hour I spent doing nothing. That was the most I've been me. Paying it back, the Sunday in the quiet, paying it back. The morning that I'm in it, the hours I owe myself, I'm settling the debt, one morning at a time. I'm not done yet. Measure breathing, something I learned the hard way. When the chest got tight in the middle of the workday, standing in the meeting, losing track of where the air went, finding myself outside the building. Oxygen apparent, deficiency, the body calling in what the mind dismissed. The breath has been my barometer for everything I missed. Signs that I was pushing past the threshold of sustainable. The breath was always honest, even when I wasn't capable. 4 counts in and hold it 4 counts out. That's the only thing I know without a doubt. The breath is still the truth when everything else lies. Measure breathing, that's how I survived. That's how I survived. I taught myself to box breath in the parking lot at work. Sitting in my car for 20 minutes like a jerk who couldn't face the building without first reclaiming something basic. The right to inhale without the cost of functioning at somebody else's pace. I needed just this much 4 counts to remember that the body is in touch with what the mind keeps overriding. In the service of the road, the breath bypasses everything and reaches something whole. 4 counts in and hold it 4 counts out. That's the only thing I know without a doubt. The breath is still the truth when everything else lies. Measure breathing, that's how I survive. Now I do it in the morning, before the day gets access. 4 counts and 4 holds, 4 out the daily practice. Not because I'm broken, because I'm serious about staying in contact with myself. Delirious as the days get, the breath is the anchor, the most honest thing available. I'm grateful and I thank her for never lying. The body always knew. Measure breathing brought me back, it always does, it's true. 4 counts in, and I'm still here. 4 counts out, and the air is clear. The breath is still the truth, and it always will be mine. Measure breathing, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. The cracks in the pavement run like river maps of pressure. The city breaking slowly at the seams in gentle measure. Every winter adds another fracture to the grid. Another line that wasn't there before the code did what code does. I've been thinking about this since the morning, when I walked the block and read the damage without warning. I felt akin to it, the way things break without announcement, the slow accumulation that precedes the pronouncement. Something's been giving way beneath the surface, long before the outside shows the evidence. You feel it first before you see it. I know that feeling, that pre-crack tension in the thing that's been concealing.
My uncle ran the same route every morning for 11 years. Before the day he couldn't, no announcement, just the fears. He'd been suppressing surface cracks he'd been ignoring. Told himself, well, just the weather, just the road, just the storing of old injuries. I think about him on the cracked pavement. I think about the things I told myself were just adjustment. When the cracks are in the low-bearing parts of who I am, I need to read them honestly before I run the same program. Something's been giving way beneath the surface, long before the outside shows the evidence. You feel it first before you see it. I know that feeling, that pre-cracked tension in the thing that's been concealing. The city fills the cracks with something temporary, patches over what needs proper excavation. I've been doing that, the temporary overlay, when what it needs is real investigation. So I'm going back to the beginning of the fracture, finding where the pressure first applied. The crack tells you exactly where the weakness was located. Nothing breaks without a reason, I'm finding mine. Something gave way, I finally read the crack. Something shifted, and I'm not putting it back. The evidence was always in the surface. If I look, the pre-cracked tension, how I finally understood. Yeah. Yeah. Two lives running side by side and never touching. There could have been and what is, parallel and rushing past each other in the corridor of what I chose. I feel them when the city's quiet and the night wind blows. The version that stayed in the city I left at 23 is living parallel, a different frequency, same source material, different application, same instrument, different song, same foundation. Running parallel and never crossing over. Running parallel from summer into October. Both of us believing that the other got it right. Running parallel, two lives, one night. Two lives, one night. Yeah. Yeah, I don't regret the choices, I'm just noticing the shape of all the lives I'm not living while I navigate. This one, the one with the apartment in the 6 a.m. The one with the specific commute and specific them. I wonder if the parallel me wonders about mine. If he's lying in his version of the dark, counting his lines of decisions that diverged us. Do we both feel the draft of the life we almost lived, blowing through the aftermath? Running parallel and never crossing over. Running parallel from summer into October. Both of us believing that the other got it right. Running parallel, two lives, one night. Two lives, one night. Yeah. Maybe parallel is just the proof of possibility, that from the same beginning came 1,000 different me's, and all of them are real, and all of them are running through their own pre-dawn paralleling. None of them are done yet. Running parallel, I'm choosing this one now. Running parallel, I finally figured out that the other life can't live me any better than I'm living. Running parallel, and I'm done with the comparing. I've been in a low season, not depressed, just dim. The light that I usually carry burning on the rim of empty, still on, still functional, still showing up. But something in the voltage dropped and I can't fill the cup back to where it was. I pour and nothing holds the way warmth leaves a room when nobody's been told to close the door. I've been losing heat for months like that. Not dramatic, just the slow arithmetic of all I lack. Nothing's wrong enough to name it. Nothing's right enough to claim it. Just a low season, doing what the low seasons do. Somewhere between the going under and the breaking through. I'm just here in the in-between, and I'm still moving through.
I called the season what it is because the name helps. I stopped performing wellness for the benefit of someone else's comfort, mine included. Stop pretending it's okay when it's the kind of okay that cost everything to say. The low season has its own productive silence, a kind of underground work happening beneath compliance with what I'm supposed to feel. The roots go deeper when it's cold. The low season is the work the high season gets to hold. Nothing's wrong enough to name it, nothing's right enough to claim it. Just the low season doing what the low seasons do. Somewhere between the going under and the breaking through. I'm just here in the in-between, and I'm still moving through. I've been here before, and I know what comes after. The season turns, it always does, it turns. The low is not the bottom, it's the settling. Before the something underneath the something learns to surface. So I'll stay in it until I don't need to. The low season knows the way, I'll let it lead through. Nothing wrong, just dimmer than I want to be. Nothing broken, just the low season finding me. Somewhere in the in-between, I'm still here, still warm. Low season ends, that's how the low season's born.
Yeah. Yeah. 5 a.m. alarm and the body disagrees. Every morning in negotiation, just 5 more of these minutes. Then I'm bargaining down to 3 to 1. Then guilt and obligation finish what the alarm begun. I iron the shirt I laid out last night like a soldier, preparing for a battle that gets older and older. The commute's the same faces going nowhere fast. Each of us wearing yesterday's ambitions like a cast. Before the world decides what I'm supposed to be, there's 20 minutes standing in the kitchen, just me. Before the roll begins and before I have to play it, I drink the coffee standing up. There's something true in that. The train platform at 6 has its own congregation. Nobody chose this hour, this is obligations nation. We stand in separate silences with collective understanding that something brought us here before the morning's fully landing. I watch the man who reads the same page every Tuesday. His lips don't move, but something in his face is saying that the page doesn't matter. It's the ritual of holding something steady when the day has barely started unfolding. Before the world decides what I'm supposed to be, there's 20 minutes standing in the kitchen, just me. Before the roll begins and before I have to play it, I drink the coffee standing up. There's something true in that. Maybe the commute is where the real self travels, in the gap between the home self and the work self, unraveling into something manageable. Maybe the 20 minutes of coffee standing up is where I actually live in it. Before the world, just 20 minutes mine. Before the roll, just standing in the line of my own making. Coffee kitchen, quiet. Before the day, I had this and that's right.